Good morning and welcome to MetrixMedia. This morning we're joined by Peter Crowe, who's the Head of Search at Yahoo Australia and New Zealand. Yahoo launched search recently in the Australian market, local search recently in the Australian market, in competition with Census and also Google and Overture, who will be launching their local search offerings later this year. Pete, welcome and thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Here at the Yahoo offices.
New offices, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about local search. Tell us when you launched it and also how it's different to Census.
Okay, it's a product we launched just last week. We'd spent locally and globally quite a lot of time thinking about local search. So the Australian business saw an opportunity for it. The American business and the Korean businesses have also noticed that. So last week the US launched their new local search and Koreans did about a month ago. Locally we saw, when we looked at our search logs, that Australians were doing a lot more searches for local-based services. So we've known and had...
What's the percentage? What's the split for local?
It's about 20%. So the concept of, you want to do a search for Kylie Minogue, that's great. The web's good for that. If you want to search for something about, George Washington, then that's great. But if you wanted to find a plumber around the corner or a florist near your mum's house, then while there was a lot of information in our main web search product for you, it wasn't providing a great quality solution. So we saw there was an opportunity to launch a truly local search product. So we did that last week. So now if you do look for a plumber or a florist or a baker or any other type of business in Australia, we have a search field that lets you find what you're looking for and a suburb field that will let you find where you're looking for it.
Is local search your way of selling into the SME market? Is it a tactic, if you will, for selling to SMEs?
It is primarily consumer-facing opportunity at this point in time. We saw that that's where the real opportunity is, that there's a lot of people out there who want the solutions we can provide. We do know that, and this is part and parcel with the web and search business, that if you build an audience, that in time the revenue will come and follow it. If you look at what we've done with our main search product and the tremendous monetization mechanisms that Overture provides us, it's clear that if we build an audience and deliver a great consumer solution, that down the line money will flow. The thing that we've started with the launch is that every business in Australia will get a free listing. So a business name, phone number, address, if we can identify their address, a map, and some other rudimentary information. We will in time allow them to enrich that information and we'll start to engage with them on a commercial front to allow them to buy some prominence. Part of that strategy will be to work with Overture, who have announced that they're launching a local advertising solution later on in the year, and we'll also be working directly with SMEs to enhance their listing.
Even though it's free now to local and small or businesses in general, how are you communicating to them that you have a search product and to update their details?
Again, at this point in time, the real effort has been to engage with consumers and demonstrate that there's a quality solution out there.
But if there's no content in there, how are they going
well, there's content. See, that's the great thing.
Where did the content come from?
I'd call that the special sauce at this point in time. There's some things that we've done that we think are pretty unique to Yahoo. So we're choosing not to disclose some of the processes and mechanisms we did to grab the information. What we can say though is that public phone databases were part of that content acquisition, that there's a lot of variety of other sources on the web and off the web that we've gone to collate that information and aggregate it, clean it, scrub it, and those sorts of things. And with this sort of business now, we're in this business, we're serious. It's an ongoing process now of enriching that data and cleaning that data. The SME landscape in Australia is very, very dynamic. A lot of small businesses open and shut in any given week. A lot of small businesses run out of home, for example, have a home phone number, possibly their business is their mobile phone number, for a plumber, for example. So that creates a certain amount of challenges for us, but there's a lot of ways that you can go and get that information and enrich that information. And so this process is in place.
You need people to do that, or is that being done electronically?
Oh, both. I don't think a few years ago this would have been as feasible if it was just human-based, if it was call centre operator or DM and those sorts of things. But these days, because there's so many quality databases with accurate information, scrubbing that data together as well as call centre operators mean you've got the perfect marriage of data acquisition and cleaning. And that's an ongoing process for us now.
For you, it's 20% of the market. For white pages and yellow pages, it's 100% of their business, local, if you will, searching. So how do you think you're going to be able to compete with a white or a yellow that local search, when local search to them is so important?
In terms of competitors, big or small, Yahoo has seen many along the way locally and globally, so it's something that we're used to, being in a competitive environment. I must say one of the things we focus on though is not the competition but on the consumer, and in this activity the small business or the advertiser is our client as well. So if we focus on providing quality solutions to them, I think Yahoo will benefit and perform nicely. In focusing on the consumer, providing as many businesses we can with a free listing so that they have a compelling offer. Making it search-based versus older ways of directory-based means that the consumer solution is a great one. Providing a free listing for businesses and then performance-based advertising thereafter is a great business solution. You put that together, we're fairly confident that this will be something that both consumers and businesses will value in time.
Growth globally has been pretty steady, but in Australia your share of consumers has flagged and even dropped in some areas. How is this strategy, this consumer strategy, do you think going to work going forward? Is it a new strategy? The search strategy we have, I'd say search at the moment is on fire. Yahoo's doing very, very well out of search. Our audience is growing, our revenues are growing. That's twofold. We're continuously enhancing the search solution. So local search is an extension of our main search product. Our main search product is growing its audience share. It is growing in its activity, its PVs and UUs and those sorts of things. So local search is a very important part of that. So we're very fortunate that Yahoo's a brand that has tremendous affinity with search, that Yahoo still is a very strong brand with the Australian marketplace. So about 4 million Australians come to us every month. So while in the global landscape, or the global landscape in Australia at least in terms of our competition, there's a lot of toing and froing in terms of positions and those sorts of stuff. I think we're in a tremendous position. How are you competing then with Overture to sell search and local search? How will you work with them and how will you compete with them?
Overture is a tremendous partner. When I talk about search is on fire, I think Overture is on fire as well. They're doing such a tremendous job. They're doing a tremendous job for Yahoo, so the revenues that they're generating for us are fantastic. I put it down to a tremendous way that they engage with the SMEs in this country and big businesses for that fact. It's a great solution. When it comes to local, they're an important part of our strategy because they have these tremendous tools and techniques to provide performance-based advertising to a business. So that will be an important part of local search. In some ways, we will also be engaging directly with SMEs. We need to validate and verify information that provides a selling opportunity at the same time. So you can do both. What you see in the search business is Yahoo search technology powers the Yahoo site. It's also powering Aussie Mail's Answers site. 9MSN use that solution. So you can be competitor and partner at the same point in time. Overture is an exact example of that as well.
Small businesses are going to be reluctant to move away from something that works, considering their dollars spent on advertising and marketing are so valuable to them. How do you think you're going to convince them to spend on Yahoo if Yellow Pages is already working and they've been converted to the web?
I think it's a process that will take time. We've only been up for just over a week, but we've seen quite a strong inflow of potential advertisers, people inbound calling us and saying, how do I buy advertising on this? I want to be part of it. So I'm not actually that concerned in the long run that this will be a very viable solution for small businesses as an advertiser. We do see though that the advent of Overture's systems in pay-per-click advertising has demonstrated to a lot of small businesses that there's a new and better way of advertising online, or just advertising full stop. Local search and the performance-based advertising they'll get from that is a natural extension. And I think the fact that for starters they all get a free listing with their business information on it demonstrates our commitment to them in providing a quality solution, but gives them an easy in-tray as well. So this week we're already getting calls. This time next year, I suspect the inbound calls that we're getting will be significantly larger.